All right, sorry. Fiddling around, making sure that all the technical stuff is good. Can you guys hear me? All right, sorry. Fiddling around, making sure that all the. All right, I'll give it a few minutes to make sure we get people in here before we get started. How's it going out there? No, Florida here, Sunday evening, fantastic weather, can't complain. Just waiting on some feedback on my mic. Make sure you guys can hear me. We're doing something a little different today. Basically, got a little Kickstarter pitch, kind of a speech. I'll start with, and then give everybody an update on what's happening in the next few weeks and through April, and then I'll kind of open it up to answer some questions from the chat. Kind of the gist of this video here. All right, we got a few of you guys in here watching. I'll wait till a couple more come. All right, good. Now I got some feedback. Thanks, Scarlett. Okay. All right. So, like I said, just gonna do a quick announcement on Kickstarter, and it's gonna be a little bit also of an introduction about shard bugs as a game, and who I am and what is shard bugs and what we're planning to do. Doing that because we have a lot of new kind of faces that have joined um, Discord and our socials, and are just kind of starting to learn about shard bugs, especially as we gear up here for the Kickstarter release. So we'll just talk a little bit about shard bugs, myself, and then kind of we'll move on to what's kind of in the pipeline and where we are at with our development right now. So, alrighty. So, hello everyone. I want to start off by saying that I'm sure that many of you have seen indie TCGs come and go. Some of them promise you the world during crowdfunding, and either kind of don't deliver at all. From some of you who've been following the indie TCG space for a while, there's kind of been some mishaps. There's been some games that kind of come out from crowdfunding, release a successful set, but kind of fizzle out after that. And I'm here to kind of explain why I believe that Shard Bugs is here to stay. So, Shard Bugs is a game that is designed for both players and collectors. Okay, playability and collectability. We crafted a strategic and fast-paced experience that's wrapped in a deep and expanding universe. But isn't just another indie TCG that is just trying to chase hype. We're trying to build an entire IP. We've completed a comic book issue, Have it here. So we're building an IP by building a whole story, a whole world building story behind Shardbooks. This is issue number 1. Okay. We have issue number 2 completed, and we'll be able to drop that next month. And our team's working on issues 3 and 4 right now. Okay. The team also has the team. We're starting to work also on an animated series. It's a little bit further down the pipeline, but we have ambitions to really create the lore, the world building, the universe of Shardbooks. The first set, called The Beginning, because we like dad jokes around here, is already complete. Like, we are complete even before going into Kickstarter. But what does it mean to be complete? Like, is it just the art? Is it the gameplay? What do you mean complete? Here's what I mean about being complete. Okay. We have the product, guys. Okay. We printed a limited edition of the stunning first edition Beginning. The product is a bit limited. We were just kind of gauging the market. We have 2,000 booster boxes printed and 1,000 of these boxes that we call splat boxes. They're a fantastic introductory product that has precon decks, has a few loose packs that you can open up and customize those decks. It has a paper play mat, a how to play guide, and a devotion counter in it. So we have product. That's what I mean about the beginning first set being complete even before we go into Kickstarter. Why did I do that? Um, Reason number one is putting, my resources and my money where my mouth is. I said I'm going to create a game and fully printed before going to Kickstarter. I'd pledged that to my development team and to the early people that were following the game, and we've followed through with that. And also because for you that are TCG enthusiasts, especially in the indie space, there has been, unfortunately, there has been campaigns that go through crowdfunding and just don't deliver. We are going to deliver. Like, we have the product. We can't not deliver it. So we have that. I created this first set and developed the first set 100% with my own money, with my own funds. No loans, no investors. I owe nothing to nobody. Okay, so letting you guys know that. But who am I? So my name is Luis Silva. I'm a Florida-born native, husband, and father to 7 amazing kids. I've built my main company, a general contracting firm here in Florida, 7 years ago, and I started with basically bootstrapping it, very meager startup, to doing over $10 million in revenue last year. And not just that, I own or co-own 5 other companies. So I know what it takes to do a startup, to start a company, scale it, sustain a brand, and put together a management team that will give it longevity. So that's my background, my business acumen. Chartbugs is not just a passion project for me. First and foremost, it's a company first with a commitment to doing indie TCGs the right way. So I've played card games for the last 25 years, but in the last 4 years is when I've been involved with indie card games. And I've been in a bunch of indie TCG communities. I've backed a bunch of games myself. But unfortunately, I have seen some card games, come and go or start up and kind of, not do so well. So my commitment is using all of my business experience and all of my financial backing and putting together a fantastic development team to make sure that Shard Bugs does go the distance. That we don't just create, the first set and then fizzle away. Shard Bugs will be here to stay. Um, so with that, I know the importance of curating a relationship with LGSs. LGSs to me are super important. I've been going to LGSs since the age of 10. Started with OG Pokemon, moved into Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, and have been playing all that for the last 25 years. Uh, our success will happen with our fantastic community and a partnership with LGSs. Uh, what I mean about partnering up with an LGS is not just saying, "Hey, LGS, come sell my product." What I really mean is, "Hey, LGSs, partner up with us. Order directly with Shardbucks wholesale whenever you need product and as you need it, as long as availability is there." We'll also be giving them organized play kits and not just saying, "Hey, here's an organized play kit." We will explain to them these are the prices within those organized play kits. This is how we recommend um, putting together weekly plays. Here's how you can track points, and here's your monthly prices for the folks that have earned the most points. Also, we're also going to do a circuit tour of LGSs. We're going to start in Florida. Like I stated before, we're going to partner up with the first 20 LGSs here, and we're doing that because we want to do how to learn how to play Shardbooks event. So I promise, each and every one of those LGSs, myself and possibly some other devs will show up to your store, buy everybody, pizza, lunch, or dinner, crack open some splat boxes, explain the game, and host an event. Um, we also paired up with Best Coast Pairings, which is a company that's able to, host events. You can register events there, and it also tracks individuals' rankings and points and how often are they playing. But also at a store level, it tracks how often stores are doing events, how many people participate in those events, etc. And I also am making a commitment to the top 10 stores that are creating a Shardbooks community to give them a 1K prize support and do 10 1K tournaments here this year in Florida. All that's going to lead up to our 10K tournament that we're doing at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds on November 8th. So, yes, so Shardbugs has a commitment to LGSs, has a commitment to organized play, and has a commitment to host our own events. So, a little bit more about what is Shardbucks. 2 years ago, my oldest daughter, Mia, who is a fantastic artist, she's been drawing since the age of 4. You could always see her with headphones, listening to music, a pencil, and a notepad, and she's just a addictive artist and drawer. Uh, but about almost about 2.5 years ago, she came up to me and showed me the first ideas, the concept of what is shard books. She had created, I think, about 8 to 10 cards. They were all insect characters. She even created the card layout and everything. And she said, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about this idea?" When I seen it, I immediately knew, "Hey, you're onto something here." And she, basically asked, "Hey, can you, make this a reality?" And I said yes. So about 2.5 years ago, about late September 2022, we put together a Discord. We invited a few folks that I could confide in to give feedback on the game, and we started on the journey. We hired Zip Draw very early on, a fantastic comic book artist, and him and I worked on kind of creating the overall aesthetics of the game that kind of fed from the art style that Isabella had put together. So Shardbugs will be more than just a card game. Again, we're trying to build a whole IP and brand. Comic book series, animated series, plushies. A lot of people have been asking about plushies. So yes, we're doing plushies. And heck, maybe action figures, down the line or whatever, and but it will be a trading card game that we hope to make players very happy in playing it, and also making collectors happy looking for that chase. I say that because I am both player and collector. I like completing sets of card games that I'm into, and I also like putting together decks, deck brewing, and going to my local LGS and actually playing the game. Um, I believe that shard bugs will go the distance because we kind of have a head start in the game. Our first edition is already printed, and we're gonna follow up the first edition with a standard edition, which will be basically the same base set as the first edition, but we will change up some of the, we'll call it chase cards that are in set one. So there'll be different secret secret cards, and there'll be different box toppers in the center edition set. But basically, as soon as we complete the Kickstarter, and we go through a short pre-order phase for the center edition to gauge the demand, we could just hit print button the first week of May, and that is on its way to be printed. Now, that's not where we're gonna leave it off. We're gonna go on an LGS tour. We're gonna do learn to plays, and we're already working on set two of Shard Books. We are about 25% complete on the art, and we actually have active playtesters right now on our Discord community playtesting set two. So again, we are looking into the future and trying to get a big head start so that we can deliver set one, follow it up with a center edition, follow it up with a second edition, and kind of continue this ride together. So yeah, so I've put together a bit of effort into curating this whole game, along with a fantastic development team. Each of them are just really great in what they do. We have a fantastic editor. We have a fantastic web and app developer. We have an art director. We have a production manager that works with great printing partners. Um, I have Nate. You may know him as Mythos on Discord. He works with me in kind of grading the mechanics and the gameplay. So we have like a whole team that is working on this project, and fantastic artists. No AI art. We have fantastic artists that are putting down amazing art and really creating a whole world that is Shardbooks. So we have our Kickstarter March 29th. I hope you guys can participate in that and order some product, play it with your friends, family at the house, bring it to your LGS and show it off, and be able to enjoy the Shardbooks game. So that's kind of about it for my little speech and pitch on what is Shardbooks and who are we. I'm going to move on now to what we're doing in this week, the next few weeks, and moving into April and May. First and foremost, again, Kickstarter is March 29th, but also March 29th, the development team, almost everybody except our art director who won't be able to make it, but everybody else on the development team will be at Collecticon Fort Lauderdale. And it's a 2-day event. It'll be on the 29th and 30th. We are actually going to launch the Kickstarter at the convention. We're going to go to the convention with pre-con decks and showcase the games to anyone who wants to try it out. Tell them about the Kickstarter. Tell them how to order the product, and hopefully bring in more players going to this convention. We're also going to live stream that convention. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of cameras. We're thinking about a camera that is kind of capturing the whole booth and all the activity, people coming and going, and another camera at actually a table, maybe top down, showing our devs work playing with people who are interested in playing the game and showing them how to play the game. From there, our campaign's going to last 2 weeks, so it should end April 12th. The reason why we're doing 2 weeks is it's a little bit on the quick side for indie TCGs. They usually go 3 to 4 weeks. We're doing that because our first edition is already pre-made and it's kind of limited. So it's there, and when it's sold out, it's basically sold out. Now, if you so happen to see this video, or if you so happen to learn about Shardbooks a little bit late into the campaign, let's say things do sell out, which we hope for as a team, right? You will be able to purchase the standard edition set during the campaign of the Kickstarter and at a discount as well. So if all the tiers are sold out, because each tier has product and each tier has a limited amount of people that can pledge that tier until all the product for the first edition is sold out. But you can pledge a $1 pledge and become a campaign pledger, And then there are add-ons. There'll be an add-ons for the standard edition flat boxes and the standard edition booster boxes. So, feel free to grab those if you like. That would also help us kind of gauge the size of the print run for that standard edition, and it will give you guys the product at a discount. Um, Also, if you pledge a tier to grab some first edition product, feel free to grab some add-ons for that standard edition because some cards will be different. So the whole print run will be just a little different. So if you're a completionist and just want some of those different secret cards or box toppers, there'll be something different in that set for you as well. Let's see here. So after the campaign closes, we are going to open up standard edition one more time. It'll be sold directly through our online store. It'll be a short window of about 2 weeks. Go in and kind of order. It'll be printed in mass, so you could order the product that you would like. After we tally up all of the pre-orders from the Kickstarter campaign and all the orders from this 2 week window of pre-orders, we'll combine the figures and we will send that product off to the printers the first week of May. Now, we will add a little bit extra product that's just to onboard other LGSs. We're trying to onboard out, especially outside of Florida, as well as to cover any damage or loss goods that may happen. But then that's it. I don't foresee doing a wave three, only because we were working on set two. We want to have set two deliver by the end of September, about that time frame. So once we hit print button on the standard edition set, we're moving on to set two. So just letting you guys know that. So if you missed the campaign, and if you missed the follow up pre-order window, there'll be a little bit extra. You can find them at LGS's, but from there we're moving on and moving on to set two here. When do we? Yes, for the folks that pledge a tier and grab the first edition boxes, we will ship these out soon after the campaign closes. There will be a survey where we verify all of your shipping information. You pay for the shipping amount, and then we send off your product right away. So that's also something that's really cool about this campaign and Shard Bugs is it's not like you're pledging a Kickstarter and then the game has to finish the R and play test the game and go through what many other games do of months and months and sometimes even over a year of development and then print it. We're ready to deliver the product as soon as the campaign's over. For the folks who grab standard edition product, the print button will be pushed the first week of May, and we anticipate being able to get product shipped out to the pledgers by the end of August. So not that far away. That's about it for my kind of update on the Kickstarter and what we're doing here in April. Actually, no, I'm missing one thing. We we also are committed to marketing and growing the game, and we're going to plan on doing 6 conventions here in 2025. The first one being Collecticon for Lauderdale. The second one will be SiestaCon. The first weekend of let's see here. That's the first weekend of May. And then after that, towards the end of May, we have Collecticon Orlando. I'm working out the last bit of details with the folks at Gen Con to see if we can get a sorcery event there. We won't have a booth, but we're trying to see if we can get together at least a 2K tournament event and bring some players that are in that area or just so happen to be going to Gen Con and putting together an event for Shardbugs. And then as we finalize the other conventions of the year, we'll post it on our website and our socials and Discord. So that's about it on all of my blabbering. I will look at chat now and see if I can answer some questions out there. I see lots of highs. I see blue butterfly out there, full circle, philosopher cards, lots of familiar faces here. Anybody have any questions? So Has Thrift asks, will next set release website or Kickstarter? We're only doing one Kickstarter. We feel that's all we need in terms of crowdfunding. Here's what I mean. Kickstarter. The reason we're doing Kickstarters for a few reasons. The first reason is early on, I had made a promise to do a Kickstarter, and this is me, um, kind of, you know, being a man of my word, so to speak, and going through with a Kickstarter. We don't really need Kickstarter. We've developed the game. We've printed the product. We could sell direct. We could co-sign with LGSs. But also, Kickstarter is a platform that also could get more eyes and more players into Shardbug. So it's a way also to kind of expand the base, if you will. But right now, we're already working on set two. Um, Kickstarter is more like a pre-order for the folks who want the first edition, um, and a pre-order for the center edition, and then from there we're done with Kickstarter. Will we sell it direct? It depends. We want to make sure we sell through all our LGS partners. So we're gonna take the folks that have signed up with us for during the campaign. There is a tier for LGSs. If LGSs are interested, you guys can get the product. It will be the standard edition set that we will have available for the LGSs, and it will be at a pretty heavy discount. Um, but there will be probably an opportunity on set two to do a small window pre-order for set two. Again, a newer company, we're still kind of gauging print runs. We want to make sure that we print enough for our fans to be able to play and collect. But we also don't want to overprint because it is a trading card game. It is a collectible game. We all know that um, print runs kind of matter in the world of TCGs. So we may have a small window of pre-orders for set two, and then basing that plus talking to our LGS partners, create what we feel is the right set size, and then that's how it'll be sold. All right, let's see if there's any other questions here. What time will it drop on the 29th? That question is by Philosopher Cards. Okay, so let's see here. I think the dev team will pull me by the ears if I state the exact time. I will say that we are going to make an official announcement on what time we're going to drop it, probably 2 to 3 days prior to the Kickstarter. So probably about Wednesday of this week, we'll make an official announcement on Discord, on the website, on IG, and on Facebook. Um, when exactly what time of day Saturday we'll drop that. Will the comics be on the Kickstarter to pick up? Yes, we do have comic books for the Kickstarter. That question was by Full Circle. Any interest, Hasthrift? Any interest on in Patreon or selling promos on websites? Um, Patreon, no. So we actually created a bunch of promos. I think about 4 promos during the development of Shardbugs. But we wanted to make sure that Shardbugs wasn't a pay to play. We wanted to make sure that the folks that were getting these promos were folks that were interacting with the community and helping the community grow. So during the development of the game, like last year, early this year, we had different community events. Some of them were invite friends into the Discord events. Some of them were, um, you know, drawing bugs or giving ideas for bugs or naming things. There's a bunch of just community engagement events that we used. There was learn and play events, so you would show up on Discord. We show folks how to play the game, and anyone who was there receive promo cards. Um, Now, being able to sell promos online, we are considering possibly having like small seasonal alt art promos, possibly like a Christmas, for example, like a Christmas holiday um, edition where we create a small limited card pool of alt arts. They're like festive, and we put them in small packs, like we did our sample pack run, and possibly offer that on the website. So you may see some of that. Okay. Any other questions out there? Got Kundu de Castillo's here. How you doing, Kundu? Kundu's our art director. We got Jeeps in the chat. Jeeps is also part of the development team. He is our production manager. He's the one who kind of stays up late at night and talks to our printing partners who are unfortunately across the globe, and their time frame is totally different than ours. Appreciate that, Jeeps. Um, okay, question from Philosopher Cards. How many sheets will be in existence, etc.? Okay. So I believe you're talking about the uncut sheets. So we dropped on our Discord announcement today the Cosmic Avatar tier, which will be our highest pledge tier for the Kickstarter. The uncut sheets, there's 7 uncut sheets that complete the full set of the beginning. So there's 7 different sheets. There's 15 copies of those 7. So the pop count is 7 unique sheets and 15 of them. 3 of them are going to go to the pledgers of that upper tier. I have promised the development team that has worked really hard for like the last 7, 8, 9 months. Set of uncut sheets. They work really hard. I believe they deserve it. That means we'll have a couple of uncut sheets left. So this is my first. This is my first beans that I'm spilling today. So sorry, Nate. I can't hear you if you're in the chat. Um, we will have a 10K tournament November 8th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. And not only will it be 10K in cash prizes at that tournament, the tournament will be able to hold and seat 500 players, but a set of uncut sheets, the full set of the beginnings, will also be awarded to the winner of that tournament. Yes, Brooks. So the uncut sheets will only be at the highest tier, and the highest tier is limited to 3. There's only top 3 of the highest tier, and the reason for that is the highest tier will also have a hand painted art by Zip Draw. It will be one of the 3 avatars. So Luna, Sol, and Mars. Okay, so 3 deities, 3 hand painted arts, 3 sets of uncut sheets. So only 3 on that top tier. Let's see here. Okay. Plus, of course, asking how has reception has been with the LGSs. Yeah, LGSs so far are actually really liking it. So, I spammed a bunch of LGSs. Florida has we're like a TCG mecca. We have like over 100 stores, I'm sure, in Florida. And just in our neck of the woods, me being in Southwest Florida, I've already emailed about 30 stores just in this area. And a few of them came back, hey, yeah, I'm interested. Come, let's schedule a time. Let's do the, pitch us the game and let's see if we can put it into the stores. And a few of them were like, yeah, I don't know. In indie, right? Some of them not sure how to do indies, or how to market indies. Lots of them are just kind of like purely Magic players, and then they'll sell some Pokemon stuff. Um, but then when I respond to that saying, well, what if we put product in your store at no risk to you, fully on consignment, and then we'll go do a learn to play so that we can bring folks in. You guys market it, we market it. Let's try to fill up your LGS with folks that are interested in at least trying out shard bugs. When I kind of pitch them back with that idea, they're like, "Hey, actually, that sounds interesting, right?" So And I get it. I befriended a few LGS owners, and LGSs are small mom and pop businesses. And cash flow is important to them. They've already got a steady schedule with the big IPs, and sometimes they may not have that extra X dollar figure to introduce a new game just to see if it'll work or not. So we're really working hard with our LGSs to make sure that we mitigate any risk and we instill in them um, our partnership and our commitment to help them grow a Shardbucks community within their LGS by giving them product that at no cost up front, and give them the organized play kits so they can draw folks in, and doing the learn to play events, so they could really at least start with a handful of folks and grow that community there. um, I've taken I know I've taken Nate, aka Mythos, and we went to an LGS here local to me, and we brought some decks. And I had asked the owners, "Hey, could we just like use a table in the corner to shoot some B-roll, just some stock footage, Nate and I just playing the game?" And they're like, "Sure, that's fine." So we did that. We took a table and we sat down. We started playing Shard Bugs and recording some stock footage for the Kickstarter video, which is gonna be a killer. And hope you guys like it. And then the LGS owners, there's two of them, and their employee came over, and they're like, "Hey, we're interested in what are you doing? Like, how do you play this game?" So I said, "Okay, sit down." And I showed their employee first how to play the game. And then one of the owners was curious. He sat down. I showed him how to play the game. And before you know it, Nate is my witness. We showed them the game. It was 1 p.m. on a Saturday. We left there like a little after 7 o'clock. Like they were playing Shard Bugs for 6 hours straight, and they were just playing it. And then at the end, they're like, "Hey, can we keep the deck so we can keep playing?" And they really said, they're like, "Hey, you guys have a really interesting game here that's actually fun to play." So I mean, I I say that's probably speaks for itself there. So all right, let's see here. Any other questions? Uh, Johnny's here. How you doing? Okay, I don't see too many more questions in the chat. So let me know if anyone has any other questions. If not, we can kind of wrap this up. And I appreciate your guys' time, anyways, on a Sunday evening to kind of hear me talk. But I feel like there was, some last minute questions after our last couple of Q&As. I'm sure that folks were interested in, especially with what pertains to the Kickstarter. Full Circle's asking, have you considered maybe a free to customers a mini starter deck? We haven't. I've known about that tactic. I have not considered it. It's something that we could look into. Just basically, we have the splat boxes already. We could probably open a handful of those and give some out. Um, but chances are, probably at the con, we may kind of give away a few uh, pre-con decks to folks that seem to really like it. So, but yeah, pre-con decks are fairly inexpensive to make and hand out. Hops and Destroyers is asking, what would you say is the most unique aspect of Shard Bugs? What I would say, I mean, there's a couple of things there, and there's a lot actually, but thematically, we're definitely in our own lane. So when you see the Shard Bugs logos, the bug theme meets cosmic deities, the bright pink, green, neon colors. It really screams late '80s, early '90s retro comic book vibes, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Guardians of the Galaxy. So aesthetically, it's definitely in its own lane, but play style. probably our most unique mechanic is our resource system. It's our hive and field system. So we love the idea because it's just so thematically correct to bugs. So there are other games that you can, let's say, like Lorcana, that you can pitch a card, as long as it has the right symbol, into Inkwell, let's say, or Lorcana, or into the resource row. Lorcana's not the only one to do that. So you could pitch a card from your hand into the resource row and use that to create, mana or any other resources to play cards. Um, but I've played Lorcana with the kids because my kids are, they like Disney and all that. And what I seen was once you play a card into the inkwell, kind of lose it. You can't do anything with it. Well, we're playing bugs into a hive, but it's a hive. Bees come and go. So if you have a big, 5, 6, 7 cost bug that you're not going to play on turn one or turn two, put it into the hive, and then once per turn, you can take that bug and you can actually cast it later on, say mid to late game, onto the field. And also you could take a bug that maybe you played on turn one, turn two, but your opponent's playing, maybe Mars that's gonna start burning bugs in the field. You can actually take a bug from the field and put it into your hive. So the movement of cards from your resource row to the field and from the field to the resource row really, I think, sets shard bugs apart. And flavor wise is a win. Uh, how many pages in the comic? Yeah, the first edition was a bit on the small side. Um, we have 8 pages in the first edition, but basically it's more of like an intro comic to you get the understanding, the feeling, and the backstory of shard bugs. Future um, comic editions will be at least twice as many pages, so 16 to 20 page range. So good question there, Scotty. All right. All right, Brooks. Appreciate the love there. All right. Well, any last minute questions, or I think we'll kind of wrap it up here. Getting a lot of love from the chat. Appreciate you guys' support. It means a lot. Put a lot of work into it. Not just myself, but the whole team, artists, developers, even community members that have been following us for months now. Have been kind of working hard to kind of share the game and talk to other people about it. And we appreciate that kind of support as well. All right, so um, today was a short and easy one. I appreciate your time. Again, um, Shard Bugs as a company is here to stay. We have many sets into the future that we have planned out. We have 17 sets that we have thematically planned out. We looked out that far into the future because we do have the comic book series, so we wanted to make sure we have a whole storyline. Doesn't mean we're stopping at 17. It just means that that's our foresight right now. That's like years of content. Um, um, we're going to come out with a set every 5th month. We'll probably do that for the first 2 or 3 years, until we hit a good rhythm and possibly do a more consistent 3 set a year release. We feel like that's an adequate amount. It's not too many that becomes overbearing, but it's not too few where we feel like we lose kind of retention and attention. And we want to make sure we switch up the meta for folks by at least having 2 to 3 sets a year. Um, we again are working our set two. We put together a fantastic development team, and Shardbucks is not just going to deliver a first edition, a center edition, and then we'll kind of fizzle away. No, we're here to create a brand, to create an IP, to have fun with the story. Hopefully you'll see our anime series on Netflix or Hulu. Fingers crossed, and continue to create fun games and sets for you guys to play for the future. Please check out our link tree. It's in the description of this video. Um, like I did say, the first edition sets, it is a limited amount. So if you're really interested in grabbing some of that, I would suggest that you guys click the notification button on the pre-launch page for the Kickstarter. That way, that when it does go live, you guys can kind of go in and grab the tier that you want. That's also a reason why we've already posted in our Discord the different tiers. We posted ahead of time so folks can kind of just look at the different tiers, the different price points, and all the products that are included in those tiers, and maybe help you decide ahead of time what tier you would like, which makes your kind of shopping experience a little bit quicker, more straightforward once the campaign goes live. Yeah, I guess right before we go, there is a quick question by Scotty. Any reason it's every 5th month instead of every and even 6 month? Good question. We want to do that, Scotty, because going through and developing set one and knowing where we are in our time frame for set two, we feel like we can hit consistently a set every 5th month. And we want to do that because for the first few years, there might be 2 sets in a year. But there also might be that third set that we could squeeze in a year. And if we could just put it out in the 5th month instead of waiting 6 months, why delay it? So again, we'll do this model for a few years and maybe for a few sets until the team grows and we expand. We add more capacity to our team until we can get a probably a more consistent um, 3 sets a year, and then that'll be the plan. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Continue to follow us on Discord and on our socials. Hope you guys can grab some cards and have some fun. Um, Again, our Kickstarter is March 29th. And check us out also on YouTube because we will be streaming the Collecticon here this upcoming Saturday. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye.